We're out of time, ladies and gentlemen, for this segment. Coming up, we're going to talk about free speech, the Second Amendment, and a lot more.
Silver is mankind's oldest natural antibiotic. This very special mineral has been used for centuries by most cultures throughout the world. Utopia, Texas, is home to a small but mighty supplement company called Utopia Silver, who offers colloidal products produced in distilled water without use of animal protein, nitrates, or saline solutions. Because our colloidal silver is made up of nano-sized particles, it can be better utilized at the cellular level, and germs can't mutate to be resistant like they can to modern-day antibiotics. Utopia Silver has a broad range of health supplements, including colloidal silver, gold, and copper, with a money-back guarantee on the colloidal products we produce. For 4 years, Utopia Silver has been fighting in the Texas courts against agencies that would steal our God-given rights of health care and freedom of speech. Visit us today at utopiasilver.com. That's UTOPIA silver.com, or call 888-213-4338, 888-213-4338, and help us win this battle.
A day unlike any other in the long course of American history, a terrorist act of war against this country.
The enemy struck America on September 11th. But who is the enemy?
Bin Laden. This is his MO.
We have to look to the Middle East. We have to look to Osama bin Laden.
Fabled Enemies is the first 9/11 film to take a close look at the terrorist ties to intelligence networks inside the United States.
Some U.S. investigators believe that there are Israelis again very much engaged in spying in and on the U.S.
I'm aware that some Israeli citizens have been detained.
Bin Laden's connections to the CIA, the hijackers' ties to the FBI, the Saudi Arabian connection, the Israeli intelligence network, warnings and war games, the shadow government, and much, much more. Fabled Enemies. Get the DVD at Infowars.com or see it in super high quality, along with hundreds of other titles at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
With food prices soaring to all-time highs, as the dollar continues to fall in value, what can you and your family do to guarantee that fresh, nutritious vegetables will make it to your dinner table? Garden in a Can. Garden in a Can is your source for premium, long-term storable seeds. Garden in a Can is ready when you are. Plant them now or store them for when you really need them. There are 16 large, hermetically sealed, non-hybrid, open-pollinated packets of seeds, along with detailed planting instructions sealed in a can for ultimate long-term protection. Garden in a Can. It's that simple, fresh, healthy, easy. Only $69.95 for over a half acre of safe, fresh vegetables, ready when you are. Stop procrastinating and start preparing with Garden in a Can. For more details, visit gardeninacan.com today. That's gardeninacan.com, or call 866-598-7396, 866-598-7396.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
All right, we are live. I had him on a few days ago, but I want to have him up for most of an hour today because he's got video of the police coming to the school, brainwashing him, police threatening to arrest him for saying he has constitutional rights. They're allowed to wear T-shirts with messages in their yearbook, but he said 9/11 was an inside job, so they photoshopped it out. The textbook says world government's good, New World Order's taking over America, but then when he says that he doesn't like that and it's not a good idea, they tell him that doesn't exist. So, folks, I don't think you realize just how controlled the public schools are. They train the children how to tattle on their parents. Going back over 15 years, they have federal grants in schools all over the nation. Where they have BATF local sheriff's deputies that are given a grant to be BATF officers, auxiliary officers in the schools. They have the children, starting in 6th and 7th grade in most areas, writing dossiers on their parents. I show those documents from Tennessee and South Carolina in my film Police State 2, The Takeover, where it says that they write dossiers on their parents. It's a 6-month or single semester course, I guess 3-month, 4-month course in the school. All of this. And this is classical tyranny. Having 24-hour-a-day curfews is classical tyranny. Having the media announce they're going to use troops on the streets is classical tyranny. Having cameras going up everywhere is classical tyranny. Having face scanning systems going in everywhere is tyranny. All these states and the UK, but also in the U.S., saying we're going to put satellite tracker boxes in your car and tax you down the road and track everywhere you go. And by the way, we're dialing in and listening to you over your cell phone, even when it's turned off. And by the way, your digital cable boxes watch what you watch and track everything you do. And that's reported back to the government, your TiVo system. And by the way, Google is using the microphones built in computers and video cameras to watch you and listen to you with AI keyword software to keep dossiers on you. Google announces this, and the public just goes, oh, really? Or, oh, I don't believe that. This is mega Orwellville. It's just all around us, but we still have our Second Amendment. We still have our First Amendment, but they're trying to attack those right now. Did you guys find that clip with Robert Warnock when he's where he's talking about how they blacked out his shirt? This has been quite a saga. Let's play a few minutes of that, then we'll go to him. Then we'll go back through everything else that's happened to him in this camp. And that's what it's a re-education camp. And for those that doubt me, in Texas, in Michigan, in all over the country, we've seen these reports, but I've been to these drills. They will unannounced come into a school, announce that terrorists are attacking. They will lock the children in their rooms. And this is in the elementary. Sometimes for 8 hours, they make them urinate and defecate in trash cans. Don't believe me, just Google police made children defecate or use bathroom in trash cans. You'll see that all over the country. And the cops always go, well, it was part of the federal grant, it'd be secret. It was and the children aren't fed to also freak them out and give them low blood sugar. They'll also have the elementary students. This has been going on for a decade. We've got footage of it. The first place we saw it was Missouri, right on the Kansas border. They would, in one town, load the elementary students at gunpoint with their hands behind their heads on buses and take them to a local FEMA center without telling the parents. This is part of learned helplessness, training children that when men in black uniforms come, you just lay down, you just fall down. I had one lady on, it was in the Minneapolis St. Paul newspaper a few years ago, her and her lawyer on. They came unannounced to the school even. Only the administrators knew, went into the portable buildings, told the teachers, we're going to kill you, took them out in the woods with the children. People fell over. They defecated on themselves. This was in the news. They had nervous breakdowns, and the cops were like, what's wrong? In the case of Michigan, all over the state, this was in the Associated Press 4 years ago. Google this, school shooting drill, Michigan. I'm trying to go back to the exact headline. From the AP, it was all over the news. Police drill at school, Michigan. Now, the main one that comes up is there's been 3 cases where the cops shoot themselves in the drills in Michigan. But I don't want those. I want for some reason those got more visits, so those articles went to the top last time I checked. I want the one, and we do this on air so folks can learn how to find the stuff we're talking about. So this isn't just me up here saying it. They show up at elementary schools. They blow up a bus, set it on fire in front of everybody. They've done this in Belton, too. I caught them up and I had troops, U.S. Army, walk over and say, turn your cameras off with Marines. That's in Road to Tyranny in 2000. That's when we shot the footage that's in Road to Tyranny. And they get the children out. They don't know what's going on. They throw fake blood on them. They tell them, you're going to die. And the police scream, I'm a militia. I don't like public school. I'm a militia. I don't like you not liking my Second Amendment. I'm going to kill you. For life, those children are going to hate guns. They're going to hate the Second Amendment. They're going to hate militias. And the name of the terror group they have in Michigan, they do this all over the country, that attacks the children, is Homeschoolers Against Public Education. Now the police play the part to demonize homeschoolers. And they run around screaming, throwing fake blood on children, blowing things up in the parking lot. They have the little kids come out. All of a sudden, vehicles jump up, men in uniforms jump out screaming, we're militias, we're against public schools, we're homeschoolers, we're going to kill you. And the children just go into catatonic freakouts. I mean, this is in the news. This is hardcore re-education camp. I mean, this is what they do in re-education camps. But see, now they're turning all of America into a re-education camp. It's a re-education camp the thousands of times from California to New York to Florida to Texas where they say, we're giving you $100 gift certificates if you come turn in your guns. And it's always an old grandpa whose daughter, he's going to the nursing home. You see, because they've polled the women. It's always 80% women out there. And they're there handing in $5,000 carved shotguns made in England. They're handing in, having no idea how much money they could have made just alone to the police. And some people bring in old cheap guns and get the $100 gift certificate. And then the image is put on the news of illegal guns being turned in, and it creates the image, the acclamation of seeing everybody turning their guns in. And then the police always get caught, or not all. I've seen thousands of cases in the news over the 15 years I've been studying, 13 years on air, where you always hear about cops selling. I've seen this. I mean, there's thousands of cases of cops selling guns that were seized or guns that were turned in. You can Google that. Were you able to find a clip? Well, man, I know that's the video clip, but were you able to find the Google about the particular one where they were telling the children they were going to kill them and that they were homeschoolers? We're homeschoolers. We're here to kill you. Again, to demonize homeschooling. This is hardcore mind control. But let's go ahead and play a clip of Robert Wanick, where he's talking about how they restricted him from being able to engage in the First Amendment. Here it is.